Before we do that, let's do what's called a completeness test. One thing that happens sometimes is when we're requiring users to input data, sometimes they leave data out and then it blows up the whole spreadsheet because they're trying to find data that doesn't exist and you get these error messages down below. So we're going to create something called a data completeness test. And I'm going to ask the question, is the data, that's D-A-T-A, is the data actually complete? In order to know whether the data is complete, manually you would have to look. Is the value in there? Is the value in there? And if all these values are in these areas, then you'd say yes, it is. And I'm not going to worry about the completeness of this table. I'll just assume that that is complete. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to nest a function called OR inside of an if statement. And if you kind of stick with me, you'll see how it works. I'll build it up piece by piece, but I think you'll find this to be a useful. So in my data completeness, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say equals if. Okay, so I'm doing an if test. So if this logical test turns out to be true, then it will do the first thing. It will bring back whatever's in this after the comma. If it's false, then it'll bring back whatever's in the second comma. So here are going to be our tests. We're going to do an OR. Okay? And I'm going to say, if any one of these are blank, if this is blank or this is blank, if any one of these are blank, then I want to say, hey, data is not complete. In other words, data complete? No, it's not true. So I'm going to do these. Is today's date equal to blank, or is current age equal to blank, or is retirement age equal to blank, or is salary equal to blank, or anticipated salary equal to blank. And you can see I'm just going on and on. I'm just clicking each one of these. Are any of these equal to blank? Are any of these empty? Expected return rate equal to blank. You notice I don't bother with the annual employer because this will be a formula looking up over here, so I don't have to worry about that. Expected return rate equal to blank, or is original investment equal to blank? Okay. So right now, none of those are equal to blank, and so this OR statement will turn out to be false. This OR statement will give the answer no. None of those are equal to blank. So if you look at the if statement, it will do the second piece rather than the first piece. Now, if any of these were blank, meaning the data is incomplete, I want to say true. No, sorry. If the data is complete, I want to data is incomplete. So in other words, if any of these have a blank in them, this OR statement will say that it's true, that there are missing data. But my question, data complete, is the data complete? No, the data is not complete. It's kind of a double negative, but hopefully you get the idea. If it turns out to be true that the data is incomplete, then I want to tell people that the data is not complete. So the data complete question would be false, and then opposite to that would be true. So if we get through the whole OR and every single data item is in there, then the answer to the OR is not true, and therefore the answer to the question, is the data complete, will be true. I know that sounds weird, but that's really what it's doing. And we just finish it up, and we've got our OR beginning parentheses and ending parentheses. We've got our if beginning parentheses and ending parentheses, and we should be good. So let's just test and see if that's right. So is the data, if I change this column a little bit, is the data complete? So that's what this question is. Maybe I should even change that. Is data complete? And I could, why don't I even change this, just so my question is a little bit better. I'm going to get in and I'm going to edit this by clicking up here. And instead of saying false or true, why don't I just say, is data complete? I can say no, it's not. Or is data complete? Yes, it is. And I'm going to put a single apostrophe there. I guess it won't let me do that. I guess I will have to go back to the false and true. So let's test and see if it's working the way I want it. So if you look here, is the data complete? Yes, it is, so it is true. But if I were to delete current age, is data complete? No, it's not, so it's false. That's all I'm trying to do. And so best thing to do is just look at this formula, make sure you're getting the idea. I've got a test here, which is the OR, and this test gives a true or false answer, and if this test OR is true, it will return the word false for whether it's complete or not, and if it's false, it will return true. And I know that's weird, but I guess I could change the wording here. Is data incomplete? And then maybe that would line up better for how you might be thinking. But hopefully you get the idea of what we've just accomplished here.